Have you ever noticed that your mind feels tired, even on days when you've done very little? Sometimes it's not your body that's exhausted, it's your thoughts. We carry conversations that ended days ago. We replay mistakes we can't change. We worry about situations that may never happen. Without realizing it, our minds become crowded with things that don't help us live better. They simply make life feel heavier. The Stoic philosophers understood this long before the modern world filled our lives with endless distractions. They believed that a peaceful mind isn't created by controlling everything around us. It grows from learning what deserves our attention and having the wisdom to gently let go of the rest. In this video, we'll explore how Stoic wisdom can help you keep your mind light, not by ignoring life's challenges, but by changing the way you carry them. Because sometimes, the greatest peace doesn't come from solving every problem. It comes from refusing to carry every thought. A heavy mind rarely appears overnight. It forms quietly, one thought at a time. One worry about tomorrow, one regret from yesterday, one opinion from someone else that we continue to carry long after it was spoken. None of these thoughts may seem significant on their own, but together they can become a weight that follows us everywhere. The Stoics observed that much of our mental burden doesn't come from life itself. It comes from our habit of holding on to things we cannot change. We replay old conversations, hoping for different endings. We imagine countless future possibilities, many of which never happen. We compare our journey with someone else's, forgetting that every life follows its own path. As these thoughts grow, they leave less room for gratitude, clarity, and peace. This doesn't mean our concerns are unimportant. It simply reminds us that not every thought deserves to stay in our mind forever. A peaceful mind isn't empty because life is perfect. It's peaceful because it has learned to make space for what truly matters. And that is where Stoic wisdom begins, not by adding more to the mind, but by gently removing what no longer serves it. The Stoic philosophers offered a simple question that remains just as meaningful today. What is truly within my control? At first, the question seems ordinary, but the more you reflect on it, the more powerful it becomes. You cannot control the weather. You cannot control every outcome. You cannot control what others think, say, or choose to do. But you can choose how you respond. You can choose where to place your attention, and you can choose which thoughts deserve a place in your mind. The Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, Marcus Aurelius, often reminded himself that peace begins within, not because the world becomes easier, but because the mind becomes wiser. Imagine your mind as a peaceful garden. Every thought is like a seed. Some seeds grow into gratitude, patience, and courage. Others grow into fear, resentment, or endless worry. The garden doesn't become beautiful by allowing every seed to grow. It becomes beautiful by choosing what to nurture. The Stoics believed our attention is one of our greatest strengths. Where attention goes, the mind follows. When we constantly feed worry, worry grows stronger. When we practice gratitude, patience, and acceptance, those qualities quietly become part of who we are. Keeping your mind light doesn't mean pretending difficult emotions don't exist. It means acknowledging them without allowing them to take over your life. You notice the thought. You learn from it if there's something to learn. And when it has served its purpose, you allow it to pass. That is not weakness, it is wisdom. Because a light mind isn't a mind without challenges. It is a mind that knows not every thought deserves to be carried forever. So how can we keep our minds light in everyday life? The Stoics didn't believe that wisdom was only something to admire. They believed it was something to practice. Here are 3 simple habits inspired by Stoic philosophy. First, pause before following every thought. Not every thought is a fact. Not every worry deserves your attention. When an anxious or negative thought appears, take a moment before reacting. Ask yourself, is this thought helping me, or is it simply asking for my attention? Sometimes, that brief pause is enough to bring clarity. Second, focus on the next right action. When life feels overwhelming, the mind often tries to solve everything at once. The Stoics encouraged a different approach. Instead of carrying the weight of the entire journey, focus on the step that is in front of you. Small, thoughtful actions often bring more peace than endless worrying. Third, make time to let your mind become still. A quiet walk, a few moments of reflection, writing your thoughts in a journal, or simply sitting in silence for a short while. These simple practices create space between you and your thoughts. And in that space, wisdom has room to grow. Keeping your mind light isn't about avoiding responsibility. It's about carrying your responsibilities with greater clarity and calm. Over time, these small choices begin to shape the way you experience life. Not because the world has changed, but because your relationship with your thoughts has become lighter, steadier, and more peaceful. A light mind isn't something you discover overnight. It's something you create, one thoughtful choice at a time. Each time you let go of an unnecessary worry, each time you stop replaying the past, each time you choose wisdom over fear, you make your mind a little lighter. The Stoics understood that life will always bring uncertainty, but uncertainty doesn't have to take away your peace. When you learn to focus on what truly matters, your mind becomes calmer, your decisions become clearer, and everyday life feels a little lighter. If this reflection gave you a new perspective, and you'd like to explore more timeless wisdom from Stoicism, Buddhism, and other ancient philosophies, consider subscribing to the channel. And remember, a peaceful life begins with a peaceful mind, and a peaceful mind begins by letting go of the thoughts that no longer serve you. Thank you for watching.